everyone, and welcome to episode number 4, the final episode of the ESC Daily Show of this season here, 2016, here in Stockholm. I'm joined today by Nicoline Refsing and Erik Bolks. Erik Bolks, you work for the OGAE International, the fan organization. And Nicoline, you do the stage directing for Italy and Australia. Tell us a little bit about how did you get in contact with these countries? How did you get involved in this year's Eurovision?
It actually goes back to 2014, where I was creative director and content producer for the whole show in Copenhagen, doing all the 37 performances. And then after that, last year, I was contacted by Latvia. So I did Aminata's performance last year in Austria. So I was fortunate enough to have the delegation from Italy and Australia contacting me this year.
All right, Erik. There's generally in the last couple of years, there's been a lot to do with the tickets for the fans, which of course go through OGAE organizations. I feel like this year it's going all very smooth. I haven't heard anyone talking about it. Maybe for you that's different because you're the one who gets all the phone calls.
No, I don't get all the phone calls, but International gets all the phone calls. Yeah, it went well because behind the scenes we had a lot of lobbying before the contest already. They told us how much tickets we could get. We lobbied and we got more, so now we got this much that we even did not sell every ticket because there was enough for every fan this year.
And also in case of accreditations, it was a bit different this year, right? There were a lot more people that could get into Euroclub and stuff.
Usually the broadcasters only get like 10 accreditations for very dedicated fans, and this time SVT and City of Stockholm decided to give all fans who are members of OGAE the possibility of buying an accreditation for the whole 2 weeks to enter Euroclub and Eurofan Cafe, which is very nice and good because we party every day.
Party every day until the last day, the day of the final, which is coming right up. But before that, let's take a look at what happened in the second semi-final, which was yesterday.
Australia!
That is my reaction. Just imagine getting up 5 in the morning. They love it, for sure. All right, there you go. Wisp it around a bit.
First half.
First half for Dami Im.
Dami Im from Australia, the first time that Australia had to qualify for the grand final, and we did. Where were you last night when all this went down?
I was with Dami backstage. We go through the whole routine of getting her dressed and walking her down to the in-ears and testing the sounds. We have a small ritual before she goes on stage. I give her a little bit of water with a white straw. So it's always the same thing. And then she goes on stage and my goodness, did she deliver last night.
Yeah, she was very good. So you're very personally involved with her as well. Then you meet her a lot.
Yeah, I've it's been a great pleasure to spend last couple of weeks with her, and obviously because I'm very close to her, and sort of talking about how the performance looks. I'll sort of be her eyes and ears, obviously, with the rest of the delegation.
How long before the contest did you meet her?
I met her here in Stockholm when they arrived here. But it was one of the first things, I think, the first day she arrived. We set up a meeting where we could talk, but obviously the preparation has been going on for a long time before that.
Erik, you with your OGAE always has a huge fan poll going up as well. Is Australia popular there?
Australia is one of the most popular countries in our poll. I don't know by heart which place it ended, but it was in top 10, I guess. And the winner was Russia this time. But our fans are most dedicated to the Austrian singer Zoe, because
she's great.
Well, she has her charm.
Yeah, no, I love the song.
Yeah, and it's really a cozy and a happy tune, of course. So.
Yeah.
In recent years, I don't know, I haven't checked it out this year, I must say, but in recent years, we've seen that in the semifinals and also in the final, usually the results were quite different from the actual results. Do you think that these are, the people that are voting this poll are very different from the ones that vote on the actual shows?
Well, the people that vote in this kind of polls are the very dedicated fans, and if I say dedicated, they're dedicated. So they know all the songs by heart, and they played it like thousands of times, and they have this kind of taste that is quite similar for this group of fans, which is most up tempo and happy and just to dance along. And you can see that in the results of our poll that these kind of songs always get a larger audience in voting. And sometimes it's the same as in the actual results, and sometimes it's completely different.
Yeah, because you can start to appreciate a song maybe when you listen to it more often.
Yeah.
And in this case, of course, it's important at Eurovision that we have a song that stands out directly the first time that you hear it or that you listen to it, and that's also where you come in, right? Because it's important that people who have never heard Dami before, have never heard Sound of Silence, that they can instantly get it. What did you do? What was your first thought when you heard that song? When you knew her, how to make that happen?
What I do, I always work in the same way when I work with artists. So I would listen to the track about 300 times, and I listen to it, in the morning, in the evening, and during the day, in different moods to try and sort of tune into how the audience will perceive this, and then I try to capture a universe that I then visualize. I was working very close with the head of delegation, Paul Clark, who he had some good ideas for how he wanted the performance to go, with the storytelling, with her being alone in the city and the social media scape and all of that. And then we added that sort of rock and roll performance at the end of it, where she's performing on the very downstage, sort of connecting with the audience in that. So yeah, I suppose what I do is I create very specific atmospheres and messages and sort of spacious connections and make sure that comes through on TV.
Yeah, so you're involved with the Australian entry, also with Italy, multiple entries at the same time. Busy weeks for Nicole, but also even more busy maybe for Sacha Jean-Baptiste, who is directing 4 entries this year.
I work as a stage director, and my work is to create the performance with everything. Have a vision and colors, cameras, movements, outfits, everything. Like just combine everything and make sure that what you see is what the artist hear. Yeah. So this year, it's in Stockholm, my hometown. So I took the liberty of working with many artists this year and many countries, and I made sure, because 4 is always like, oh my god, you're able to work with 4 different countries, isn't that big? You're like, yes, but at the end of the day, it's just you need to like time manage your time to make sure that you can deliver it. And all of the 4 songs and entries were so like strong to me. I kind of right away knew like this is some. Okay, I have a vision. Okay, I have a vision. So I wasn't stressed about mixing them together or trying to find a vision. I was kind of clear about it. So yeah.
So you can do it with the right time management. Are you busy these weeks?
I'm very busy. I wouldn't say I'm more focused than I'm busy, because I'm so tuned into the artists, so tuned into the performances and everybody working behind the scenes there. I'm communicating with all the teams from SVT, the camera people, the scenery people, the lighting, the content, and all of that. So there's a lot of coordination going on behind the scenes, and we're still working to refine and make it just that little bit better every time they go on stage.
So your other entry is Italy. Completely different song, I guess, and completely different idea behind it. What did you want to show with what we've seen so far at the rehearsals? So
with Francesca, I think she's got a sort of a youthful innocence to her, and I think there's also something very playful and a little bit quirky about her, which I really liked, and so I thought I would try and bring that out in the performance. What I try to do is I try to see where's the heart and soul of the artist, and how can I bring that forward. So very quickly we came up with the idea of the tree of life, and having all the props sort of being the things of wisdom that flies up to the tree and creates a whole picture. And I think having her sort of central stage and letting the camera work, doing all the movements has worked out really well.
I feel there's some common theme in this both entries you're directed or arranged, that they both appeal to this kind of sweetness both singers have, because Dami is singing it on a box and it looks like a chocolate box with the string, I don't know the word for it, but the ribbon on it, and it looks really sweet, and Francesca has the same sweetness. So I think there's a common theme maybe. Although they're totally different.
Yeah, I think they're very different.
Yeah.
I think they're very different artists. They're both very professional, and they're very much into the music, and very ambitious artists, both of them. But I think they are, I think they're very different in their personalities, and that's why I think the universe I've created for them are very different.
Have you met them? You were at Eurovision in concert, right?
Yes, but those two artists. Oh yeah,
Francesca, I think, was there.
Yeah, I think I did an interview with her, but I don't remember anything anymore.
Maybe it was Brandon, our colleague, who was there.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
So now we're going into this final. To put you on the spot, Erik, you've been following all the rehearsals. You've seen what she's done with these artists. Which of these two could do the best in the final, in your opinion?
It's always tough to predict, of course. I think...
especially for you? No.
Especially for me, yes. I had 9 out of 10 yesterday, just to remind you. I think of those two, Francesca and Dami, I think Dami has the best chances because she's really belting it out, and it's both are professional, but if you see Dami, you say this is beyond professional almost, and I think people will reward that. So the expert jury and the televoters will like that, and people can connect with it. And with Francesca, I think it will be the younger public who likes it most. So because they relate to this sweet thingy, just like the Austrian singer as well appeals to this young girl audience almost. And in between those two, yeah, I think then Dami Im has the best chances.
Francesca really likes Eurovision as well. That's what I've heard, at least. So she ended up second in Sanremo, and the winner didn't want to go. But even before it was announced that she was going to go, I already heard lots of Italian newspapers writing that it was her biggest dream, basically, to be here. Did you've met her this week? Is she enjoying it?
I met Francesca first time in London when she came over and performed at the party there. She loves Eurovision. She's a great fan, and you can see her whole campaign has been very well planned. She's traveled through Europe with the seed that she's bringing to the competition on a tour bus to meet all artists in different cities. So I think she's been very well prepared for this and absolutely loves Eurovision.
So perhaps if she loves it so much, she would like to participate in Eurovision any time she could, maybe even for a second time. We have a couple of artists this year, actually a record number of artists, who are going to participate for the second time in the Eurovision Song Contest.
It helps me a lot because, when you have a lot of experience, when you know everything, you're quite... you're quite different, quite wiser, confident, and of course you learn how to enjoy the moment because it's so stressful all the time. It's a pressure all the time. It's everybody wants everything from you.
I didn't know the competition that well when I was in Baku, and now I know what to expect and I know what not to expect too. So I think it definitely helps me,
especially with the media. Because they take interest in everyone, but they like to see an ex-participant return to Eurovision. So yes, it has helped me, and the experience does help me as well. Yes, I think.
From 2012 in Baku, when I was for the first time in the Eurovision Song Contest, until now, every day we receive a lot of messages, a lot of questions. Not only me, the Macedonian national TV also receive a lot of questions. Why you don't bring back Calliope? Please bring back Calliope. And so we didn't have so much. We was lucky because the last 3 years after Baku, we didn't reach the final evening. And that was maybe the reason why I'm here. Maybe to try to reach the final evening again for Macedonia. It will be very, very fine.
Greta from Iceland and Calliope from Macedonia, who did not qualify, but in the final are Polly Genova from Bulgaria and Ira Losko from Malta. Polly does even better this time than her first time, Erik. Do you like this song better than Nainat?
I think this song is more a poppy song, like her former entry was more like a rock song, and I think this appeals more to the audience. Besides that, I think this act looks better as well. So I think it's well deserved that she's in the final this time, because she didn't reach it in Düsseldorf. So.
Yeah, right. And for Ira, it's going to be very difficult to top her previous results. She was second.
Because her song that came second was better. The staging was better. The only thing that Ira now has is that she has matured in a very nice way. So that's her plus.
How did you like her performances, her rehearsals so far here?
To be honest, I'm not a favorite of this song. I think it sounds like a duck song or something. It's totally not my cup of tea, but she's performing it better and better. So, and they're changing a lot in the scenery. So, I don't think that's a good sign.
So she is, however, very late in the running order draw. I saw Francesca was on at 6 or 7 at the beginning somewhere. Yeah, we just saw the first run through here. How is the rest of this week, last couple of days? How are they gonna look like for you now? Is there still lots to be done? Because we've seen already so many rehearsals, and we know what it's gonna look like.
No, it's the final adjustments now.
Because we just when you before we could tape the show, you had some last-minute stuff that needs to be worked out. Are there still some details that need refining? Or?
Yeah, I'm still changing a few details just to make sure that, because we pretty much know which shots we're getting now. We just want to make sure that everything is right, the right glow levels is right, the right light levels right, and it's just very fine details now.
How important do you think these details can be in Eurovision nowadays?
I think it's all about the details. I think you have to have the overall picture, you have to have the storytelling, but I think it's that moment where you really connect with the audience is so precious, isn't it? It's do you get to look in the camera at the right time and all of those things. I think it's very important.
Without the details, the story gets lost, I think.
Yeah.
Devil in the details. And how about next year? Because we're all so close to the final now. Regardless of who wins, how well you will do. Would you like to come back to Eurovision? Are you already thinking about I don't know, Kiev 2017?
I'm not thinking of any particular place to go. I think everything can happen in this competition, but yeah, I've had several approach already for next year's performances, so we'll see how it goes.
Right, we'd be happy to see you back. Erik, for you, anything left to do to organize for the fans in these last couple of days?
Well, we have to keep track that everything goes right in Eurofan Cafe. OGAE Sweden did a marvelous job together with SVT and the City of Stockholm. It's just fine-tuning, just like you are doing, and just making sure that everybody enjoys to the max. And it looks like everybody does enjoy, so that's very good. And after the contest, we get this post-Eurovision dip, and we get to sleep like a week.
Yeah. This morning, you also appointed some new members in OGAE, right? Some new countries or something like that.
Yes, we had the candidate states for Australia, because they are new. Czech Republic became member, Belarus as well. And we had candidates for Hungary, and if I'm right, Ukraine became a full member as well.
Right, so all new kinds of countries joining in, and let's hope
We're
that
growing.
let's hope that we keep growing, and that next year we will reach that record number of countries, which of course this year didn't go through because of the disqualification of Romania at the last minute. We are here done with this last episode of the ESC Daily Show. Of course, we're not done with Eurovision just yet. There's 2 more days left, so keep following us. Keep following our jury blog tonight live at escdaily.com, and thank you for following us.